It's Bathurst week, and I could not be more excited. Welcome everyone to week 4 of the Go Racing Sim League Championship Season number 1, and we are at one of my favorite racetracks in the world, Bathurst, also known as Mount Panorama. Hi, I am Skippy McThrottle, along with my friend, colleague, co-host, and all-around great guy, Billy Ray Burnout.
If you're being this nice now, I am in trouble later. Hi everyone, Billy Ray here once again. Let's talk a little about this track. Mount Panorama Circuit, commonly known as Bathurst, is one of the most challenging and iconic racetracks in the world. Located in New South Wales, Australia, this 3.86-mile circuit features massive elevation changes, tight corners, and high-speed straight. The infamous Mount Panorama climb and the Conrod Straight push both drivers and cars to their limits. It's the home of the legendary Bathurst 1000 and a true test of skill, precision, and bravery.
Yeah, there is one thing guaranteed. We will not finish this race with the same number of cars that started. Billy Ray, what makes this track so tough?
This track ain't a race. It's a fist fight with corners that hit back. This track doesn't have a learning curve. It has a crash course. Mountain Straight is a high-speed part of the track that leads into Quarry Bend, a dangerous high-speed right turn. Then we head up the mountain through the Cutting, Griffin's Mount, Reed Park, and Sulman Park. These are all super fast turns with no runoff for safety. Racing here is like wrestling a crocodile. If you let your guard down for 1 second, it's gonna bite you. As the drivers take the left on McPhillamy Park, they approach Skyline, a short straightaway leading to impending death. Then the real butt tussle begins, starting with the downhill S's, the Dipper, and ending at one of the most important turns on the track, Forest Elbow.
I did the butt tussle with your wife last night.
Sure. Getting back to the track, the left at Forest Elbow is super important because it launches you down the Conrod Straight, one of the best passing zones on the track.
Yeah, they reach insane speeds as this straightaway is also downhill for the most part.
These drivers are going so fast here, their shadows can't even keep up. They are carrying crazy speeds into the turn called Chase at the bottom of the hill. I predict we will see several drivers attempt passes in this turn, but it can be a doozy. So yeah, the drivers really have their hands full today. Before we get started, can you tell us who won the pole?
Qualifying began early in the morning and the track was still dark and cool. Believe it or not, Sam Buck won the pole again this week. He turned 28 qualifying laps and his fast lap was a blistering 2 minutes, 4.770 seconds. He was the only driver to turn a lap in the 2:04s during qualifying. Time to get this race going. The drivers at Go Racing Sim League are used to this track as the league has raced here 6 times in the last few years. Lewis Lockshine is going to be someone to watch as he has won 3 times at this tricky track.
And our pole sitter, Sam Buck, also has a victory here. Well, slap me sideways and call me a pancake. Looks like we already have an issue.
Yup, I'm hearing on the radio that Mikey Fredrickson is having an issue with his throttle.
Sounds like his throttle went limp, just like you.
Oh, put a sock in it, you twit. My patience is on a coffee break. And the green flag waves in the air. The race up the mountain begins.
The first turn is Hell's Corner. Let's see if they can finally have a race with 0 incidents in the first turn. Looks good so far.
Let's look at that start again. It looks like Lewis got a great jump on the start and took the lead going into Hell's Corner.
Lewis was on the outside of the turn and was able to carry more speed than Sam through the apex. This could be a major moment in this race, as we know these 2 guys are extremely fast at this track and passing is difficult. The field has already formed a single line as they approach the tricky Quarry Bend.
Going up the mountain can be tough on the cold tyres. It is very common for someone to spin out at the cutting due to poor traction on cold tyres.
Yes, and that can be dangerous if it is a car in the front of the pack. One car sideways can basically block the entire track and cause a big incident. Just look at the speeds these cars are carrying through all these corners. The cars get so close to the walls, it's crazy.
And just when the track levels out, the drivers have about 2 seconds to relax on Skyline before they start going down the mountain and through the S's.
Yeah, this part is batshit crazy. It's a series of right and left-hand turns where the drivers are braking, downshifting, braking more, and downshifting again. Most drivers are in fifth gear on Skyline and in second gear by the end of the dipper.
Did you know the term batshit crazy likely stems from the fact that bats are often associated with unpredictability due to their irregular flight patterns, and bat guano has been linked to various diseases, adding a sense of chaos or danger?
Well, the more you know. Thanks, Encyclopedia Brown. Can we get back to the race, please? The drivers are now navigating through the forest's elbow, and as I mentioned earlier, this is important due to the long straightaway after the turn.
These long, high-speed straightaways are what makes finding the perfect setup difficult on this track. Drivers want the stability and comfort with the high downforce package going up and down the hill, but they can't have too much downforce or it kills them on the super fast and long straightaways.
Yep, and this track has two of these long straightaways. You may call me the Doom Whisperer, but this first lap appears to be clean and safe. Hell, we didn't even have an incident in turn one. If they can do that again next race, we can call it a streak.
Bite your tongue, boy. You just cursed them. Watch this next lap turn from sunshine and rainbows to a thunderstorm on the mountain. Logan Davis had a great first lap. Early on, he was able to pass Kevin Rupert and Shane Papala, gaining 2 positions quickly in the race, even before they started up the mountain.
Just shows how important it is to get a good exit before the straightaway. Oh, and on lap 2, Kerry Cantera hits the wall fairly hard in Griffin's mount. I wonder if his tires were still a little cold.
It sure looks like it. You can hear his tires lose grip twice before he hits the wall. His car appears to be okay. Oh boy, Lane Allen spins going through the S's.
Yeah, his back end appears to break loose, sending him around here on lap 2. He was lucky his car landed flat against the wall. This gave all the other drivers room to get around him, but man, he lost so much time. And another driver spins on lap 2. This time it is John Enriquez in the chase.
I told you cursed this lap. Now on lap 5 we have another spin in the same turn. This time it is Kevin Banks.
It's such a high-speed turn and very easy to spin out. Lap 6 and Tyler Hamlin has some troubles in Sulman Park. Man, he smacked that wall pretty hard.
Yeah, it looks like he got loose and used the wall to straighten him out. I wonder if he got wheel damage on that hit.
Well, there's your answer. He is pitting for repairs now. This means he will have to pit another time for fuel. If you don't have to get repaired, you only need 1 stop during the race. We have some good close racing on lap 7 between Daniel Sheffer, Shane Papala, Kevin Rupert, and Wyatt Franklin. Oh boy, someone is spinning on Skyline. Looks like it is Brandon Harrison.
Yeah, it looks like he carried too much speed through the turn and just broke loose. Wow, that was a very close call for Matthew Cushion.
One group was able to pass on the right, and then he rolled back, and the second group passed on the left. Here is the view from inside Matthew's car. He was right behind Harrison when he wrecked.
That was close. And now here is the view from Shane Pipola's car. He was leading that second pack through Skyline. And we have a great battle down Conrod Straight between Matthew Cushion and Logan Davis.
Look out, this could get ugly. Logan is spinning through the grass. Wow, that was close.
How did he not hit him? Let's watch from inside Logan's car. It looks like he hit the little curve in the kink and around he went. At that speed, he had very little control of where he was going after he got loose.
Check out this view. Matthew sees Logan in his rear view camera, and the next thing he knows, Logan is flying right across his nose. I bet that scared him more than a cat in a room full of vacuum cleaners.
Lap 8 and Frank Upper spins out in Forest Elbow.
His car is pointed in the wrong direction and bam! Ken Schultz comes in harder than a toddler on a sugar rush, and they have hard contact with the front of both cars. You can see it is a completely blind corner, and Ken had no idea Frank was sitting there in the turn.
Ken was not the only one with an issue. Chris Payne also made contact with Frank, but not as hard as Ken's hit. You can see that the impact completely knocked the front bumper off Ken's angry chicken car. He has no choice but to pit for repairs.
Yeah, and after all that contact, Frank's car looks like it fell out of the ugly tree and hit every branch on the way down. He has to pit for repairs too. And on lap 9, the Hamster Dick's car, driven by Kevin Rupert, smacks the wall, exiting Forrest's elbow, allowing Wyatt Franklin to pass.
Kevin said on the radio that he now has wheel damage from that hit. Good close racing on lap 9 between Chris Payne and Mikey Fredrickson.
I think Chris has damage from that wreck a few laps earlier, and he simply pulls over and lets Mikey pass him. We are now 10 laps into the race, and Sam Buck is still putting pressure on Louis Lockshine for the pro win. I tell you, this is going to be a battle till the end.
And in the amateur class, Daniel Scheffer is currently leading with Wyatt Franklin 1 second back, 10 laps in, and we have some great racing so far. It looks like Frank Apper's day just went from bad to worse. He spins out in the S's.
Yeah, that was a pretty hard impact. He is lucky no one was behind him, and he had time to turn the car back around without interfering with another car. And Doug Doucette has an issue in the cutting. That is a completely blind corner, and it looks like John Enriquez clips the front of Doug's car.
Yeah, the iRacing spotter lets you know there is a caution ahead, but it does not say where the car is on the track. He had no idea until he made the turn. That incident may have slowed John's car some. Here we see Chris Payne passing John, and we know he has damage too. Here we see a pass for the lead in the amateur division. Wyatt Franklin gets a good run down the straightaway and passes Daniel Scheffer.
Lap 17, and Logan Davis is putting pressure on Shane Papala going into the chase. Oh, they both drive into the grass, and around goes Logan. That's his second wreck in this turn.
On the same lap, Daniel Scheffer has an issue in Murray's corner. He gets loose and spins, making contact with the wall, and loses a position to Kevin Rupert.
It's easy to spin in that turn when you get back on the throttle. Oh, mercy! Shane Pippola enters Quarry Bend way too fast and hits the wall hard.
Lap 19, and Doug Doucette has an issue in the S's. He hits the left wall in the turn, and that sends him spinning into the other wall, ending his race. We are now 20 laps in, and Louis Lockshine is starting to pull away some from Sam Buck. It looks like he has a 2.3 second lead at this point.
I'm still not counting Sam out. He has a fast hot rod. And Wyatt Franklin is leading the amateur class at the 20-lap mark. He has a solid 10.9 second lead on Kevin Rupert.
Lap 25, and Daniel Scheffer has an issue in the S's right before the dipper. Looks like he gets loose and spins.
Yeah, the worst part about wrecking in this spot is getting turned around without getting into another car. Speak of the devil. Looks like Daniel and Kevin get together as Daniel gets going. It looks like Kevin spotted an opening on the inside, but that opening closed just as he got there.
Yeah, you can see from inside his car that Daniel is pointing to the left when Kevin rounds the corner. Daniel was simply trying to get out the way, but Kevin thought he was going left, and they hit a few times.
Look at Kevin's steering wheel. Something is definitely broke in the car. That Hamster Dick's Porsche looks like it has a case of Peyronie's disease. It's so bent. I doubt there is a pill that can fix that one.
The car does not look bad, but we could see his steering is totally foobar. Looks like his race is over.
Well, fry my bacon and call it dessert. Sam has caught Louis with only a lap and a half left in the race.
He may have caught him, but can he pass him? This is a tough section of the track to make a pass. It's very fast and very tight.
Yeah, this part of the track's got more curves than a country girl in a summer dress.
Where the hell do you get this stuff?
Being witty is like having a ninja in your brain, quiet, quick, and always ready to throw a punchline. The chase is a great turn to make a move. Can Sam do it? He is close.
He's looking to the right. Oh, Sam spins. Did they touch?
Let's see. He looks to the right and dives it in tight to the inside of the turn. If they touched, it was only slightly. I did not see any reaction from Lewis's car.
And for the second time in this young season, Lewis Lockshine gets his second Pro Series win. We said at the first of the race that Lewis has more wins here than anyone else in the league, so not a shocker. Congratulations, Lewis.
I tried the shocker on your wife last night. She was a fan. And congratulations to Wyatt Franklin for winning his first amateur race of the season. He had many tough battles, but kept his car clean and brought it home in 7th overall. Looking at the race results, we have Lewis and Sam, then Ed Adams with a strong third-place finish, followed by Kerry Cantera in 4th, Matt Cushion in 5th, Mike Watts in 6th, Wyatt Franklin in 7th, Shane Papala in 8th, John Enriquez 9th, and Mikey Fredrickson rounding out the top 10, even with his limp throttle.
And now let's check out the Pro and Amateur Series standings. In the Pro Series, the top three are Lewis Lockshine, Mike Watts, who is quietly having a great season, and Matthew Cushion. In the Amateur Series, we currently have a tie for first and second between Kevin Rupert and Wyatt Franklin, with John Enriquez in third place and only behind by 3 points. Next week, the GoRacing Sim League will be racing at the world-famous Imola. Thanks for watching. I'm Skippy McThrottle.
And I am Billy Ray Burnout. See you next week.